You got to make it fast.
I know.
You're into my time now.
Oh, you're right behind me. Gather. 3, 2, 1. Angle, aperture, composure, fluctuation, light.
I don't know what the fuck's wrong with her.
You're just saying words, man.
All right, let's go. The shadow box, get moving, hands up, chin down, elbows in. Weight on the inside of your big toes. Working offense and defense. Time, grab a partner, let's go arm drags. Left, right, switch, arm drags, let's go. Get somebody in work. Arm drags. Time, let's go biceps pommeling, biceps. I think I'm going to have one do some mitts, so if you'll make sure we have plenty, I don't know if there's plenty out here or not. Timeless pommel, pommel.
I didn't hear the instructions, but I'll just watch Vern and Aaron and see what they're doing.
Whatever Brian wants to do. My job.
You're obviously fucked up because I hate underhooks and you just let me get double underhooks.
Time! All right, so stay with your partner, go. Still pommeling one side, okay? One side, whenever they feel like is gonna work to try to go headlock. All Matt's gonna do is look to duck underneath, take the back, reset, okay? So we're pommeling, pommeling, pommeling. Whenever I feel like it, I'm gonna try to headlock him. He's just gonna look to duck under and take my back. Reset, go again, okay? Then the other side chases the headlock. Go. Oh, 3. Woo!
Can I sell you some? We're ready? And I'm like,
I could run single mitt.
One side. Gosh, I'm the attacker. I'm the aggressor.
Aaron, you won't get a ton of training in today.
No, I certainly will. You guys just don't know how to handle very enough. Most abuse for the life.
Top of the basketball rim.
30 seconds. Time. Good. Stay with your partner. Get a single focus mitt. Single focus mitt. Just one of you grab one.
If you have little hands, they'll be fine.
They come as a team if you didn't notice.
Denise, are you in a onesie?
All right, so,
You're in Alaska. Like,
yeah. Well, she's in Alaska, and it's like, what,
5
5 a.m., 4:30 in the morning, something like that. So I'd be in a, no, I wouldn't even be out there.
yeah, no, I wouldn't have woken up.
Forget all that. It's ridiculous. All right, so just a quick drill. Matt's hopefully going to throw it right straight. We'll see. I'm going to change my level, take my head to the outside. Matt's going to hit his arm stop. And for now, he's just going to post on this elbow and step pivot outside. Just move. Or, you know, whatever the fuck he just did. Because he can't follow directions. Right hand, boom. Arm stop. Thank you. Something. Sure. It's closer. We'll do anatomy later. He throws the right hand. I'm going to change my level. Just, look, it would be fine if I took my head to the inside as well. I'm taking my head to the outside just so everybody knows what's happening and somebody's less likely to take an elbow forearm across the front of the face, okay? Head to the outside, I'm changing my level. Then I change the range. Matt hits his arm stop here. For now, just post and go. Just get outside the elbows. Don't worry about anything else. We'll hockey punch and work in some other things here in a minute, okay? Questions? One holder, one hitter. Up 3. Woo! Time. I throw the right hand, boom, she changes her level, I hit my arm stop, I'm gonna hockey punch. I'm gonna go under, over, under, and now I'm still gonna post on that elbow and run across her body, okay? So same thing, big right hand, she tries to tackle me, hit my arm stop, put some space between us, put weight on this arm stop. I'm hitting under, listen, this could be any number of things, just to be a little bit more prescriptive for now, I'm going under, over, under, I'm gonna, same hand that was hitting, it's gonna post on her elbow, step pivot, run that elbow across her center. Okay? Oh, 3. Woo! What?
Nothing. Just being funny. Not funny. So that we learned yesterday, not be overly prescriptive. It's in the video.
Overly is relative. Same side. Time, switch, let your partner work. Start with just the big right hand, arm stop, post on the elbow and go. No hockey punching yet. Switch and go.
Like this,
Yeah.
and you're punching, how is your body? Because I feel like I'm broken over.
So I mean, they should be carrying some of my weight. So my weight is going to be forward. I'm kind of active toes here, I'm driving with my hips because I want, like the whole idea is when they come to tackle me, I'm trying to take my lower half away and put weight in this. But I should still feel like, all right, if they all of a sudden disappeared, I'm not going to fall on my face. So like if I was just practicing on a, you know, and this is kind of where I would be. Time, add the hockey punching. Let's go. Time, switch. All right, so same thing, but we'll add a little. So Amber throws a big right hand. I change my level, go to try to tackle her. She hits her arm stop. Under, over, under. I'm going to go to headlock her. She shouldn't be there, okay? If I get it, she's still going to look to duck her head, tuck her chin, bail her head out, use the hands to hand fight a little bit, okay? If you're super late, be better. I don't know what to tell you. No, if you're super late, obviously there are other things that we can do, but practice on the early recognition. No different than the pummeling drill we did, right? We're pummeling, somebody tries to grab my head, get out, okay? Don't be there. So for this drill, duck under, take their back, okay? Just hit a back take, body lock, whatever. One more time, big right hand, level change, arm stop, hockey punch. She hits that third one, I'm gonna go try to grab her head. She has an unfair advantage because it's really, really small. But, all right, questions? You're screwed, that giant ass head you got. Oh, 3. Woo!
Coaches, pay attention to great coaching cues, like do better. It's a fucking incredible cue.
I mean,
Sometimes you just have to point out their failures and they'll figure it out. Stop fucking it
On
up.
their own.
works for me.
Sorry. Go to Thailand in April, so I gotta get it. Are you? I am. I'll take it. Personally, I think all work is fun.
Where's the music, DJ?
I'm trying to figure out what the fuck he's doing. What the fuck's he doing? What's he doing? Oh, I don't know. Doing what?
Classic era of music is dying. I wanna.
When I'm like this, and I try to come all the way over,
Yeah,
around her head,
yeah,
it's a long way.
yeah.
Well, I headbutted her in the process. Coming up.
Fighting, shit happens. It's not about your attack, it's about her defense. Time, switch! Let your partner run the same thing. Let's go.
My bad.
I guess he's good.
Yeah, he's
Too late, way too late.
I'll switch.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Time. All right. You can put the mitts off to the side, but we will probably come back to them. So when I'm teaching for 40, not 3. So here, when she rolls underneath, she gets to my back. similar to what we did with the headlock, I want to start recognizing the problem as early as I can. Okay, look, you have to train things from negative, yes, okay? But if you only train from negative, guess where you're going to find yourself most of the time? Negative, okay? And if you're training from extreme negative most of the time, then you're going to miss like the 17 things that you should have done before you got there. And at some point, like, you're just too late. I mean, that's just the reality of it. Like, if you weren't good enough to not intervene in those 17 steps, you're probably not going to be good enough to escape once it's like absolute worst case, okay? This is not necessarily one of those, but still, I would want to look to deal with the problem as early as I can, okay? So here, when I go to throw this or try to grab her head or whatever and she moves in my back, I need to recognize that her hands are going around my waist and start looking to hand fight as early as feasible, okay? If I'm a little bit later, at least for now, I'm going to try to angle a hip towards her hands. I'm going to get my thumbs inside and I'm looking to create more space in here than she can continue to maintain. Even if I don't get a full-on just kind of grip break, if I just base out this way here, I don't do anything to affect that, okay? But as soon as I start turning my body, I get in a more athletic base, I start turning my body, driving my hip towards her hands, I make it harder for her to keep that grip. Where's Freddie? Freddie. I don't care how much space I put in here. It's still not gonna be enough to where I'm gonna make it to where he can't maintain some sort of grip. But I'm making space, okay? I can start working with the space that I've made. Have a basic understanding of just clinch moves and movements. I can make myself enough space to where I can start filling those gaps with something. Eli talked about filling space yesterday, I think, somewhere before soap. But it's all the same, right? It's all the same principles, okay? So if I can't get enough, and at some point, if I keep trying, I'll do so much that, Freddie, just step away from me. I've compromised my base so much that there's nothing there to support me, and if he just lets me go, that's what's going to happen. So when I'm here, even if I don't have the ability to make enough space to break the grip, I should be able to start. I mean, this is pummeling. This is what we started the class with, or maybe I hit an arm drag or whatever it's going to be, okay? So let's start. Thanks, Freddie. So let's start just from here. I go to grab her head. She hits my back. Try to get the grips free or before she even galvanizes them. So try to start attacking the hands before she's able to even get her grips. I'm still getting an athletic base. I'm still getting my hips forward, but I'm trying to not let her get there at all. Okay? Questions? Start from here. Okay? Why am I having you start from here? Because I think everybody in here is an adult. I've never in my life seen somebody just walking through a parking lot and somebody walk up beside them and do this. Maybe if they were 11. But like, I don't think that's how a headlock from the side materializes. They happen. In fights all the time, they happen. People grab the head. They don't know what else to do. You know, even when we started from here, like, I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. Well, her head's there. I'll try to grab her head. But just as an adult, just to run up beside somebody and try to side headlock them, I don't think makes a whole lot of sense. So if we can put some context to it, we're running it here. I'm trying to grab her head because she's kicking my ass. Okay? So start from that arm stop position. Let's go 3 for 3 with it. Oh, 3. Woo! See you, Anthony.
You try to put stuff on it, or did you get something on it?
At some point.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. As long as you slam yourself into your back.
Can't guillotine right there.
Said that.
I think they lost.
It's small, but it's mighty.
Time. All right. Questions? Okay, look, keep in mind too, like, I start hand fighting. That doesn't mean that she'll just bail on this. She might start hand fighting, right? She might start trying to grab my hands, control my wrists in different ways, and it's not going to be obviously just as easy as well. But the earlier I am, the less successful her hand fighting will be, okay? We're talking self-defense. The hands are the things that I need to constantly be aware of and know where they are, okay? She's going to stab me, shoot me, punch me, choke me, whatever. It'll be with the hands, body lock me, headlock me. I need to know where her hands are, okay? And the more of this kind of work that you're doing where you're plugging in and playing clinch kind of games where maybe you don't even see the hands, but you feel them, because if it requires you to see them, it's probably too late. I want to know as soon as a hand goes somewhere else. So when it leaves my hand, it's leaving my hand for a reason, okay? And when we're talking about like a potentially weapons-based environment, and she's on my back and I start hand fighting like this, if all of a sudden she pulls one of those hands away, that's a problem. I need to immediately recognize that, okay? Because I've already given up bad position. And now if her hands, she's not hand fighting me, she's not trying to maintain this position, she's not doubling down on what she has, which is what most people will do, and she's electing to remove a hand, it's probably going somewhere to her waistband. So I need to be mindful of that. That's why as early as feasible, when I start getting here, I'm looking to turn into them, okay? If I can maintain the hands, awesome. And right now I'm kind of focusing on the wrestling part of it. It doesn't mean that at any of these intervals you can't start throwing in strikes and whatever else. All that's still valid, okay? But the wrestling is going to allow me to get to a better position to do the striking. If you were boxing or kickboxing and you were here, would you choose to fight them like this? You're going to get beat to death, okay? This is not how you should fight somebody, okay? Especially if you're between cars in a parking lot. So if that's true, then I don't want to hang out here any longer than I have to trying to do all of this stuff. I want to improve the position, get to a better place to where I have more options and her options are mitigated, okay? She's on my, like, if we were in here wrestling, playing around, whatever, and I could get to any position I wanted, that would probably be one of them, right? One of the top positions I'm going to look for is some kind of chest to back or maybe chest to side, something like this, to where I have all these options for chokes, strikes, takedowns, whatever. And her options are much more limited, okay? So I'm not saying don't strike from here, but I am saying you should look to improve this position as soon as you can, okay? Because if she just bails on this altogether, I'm still fighting somebody that's behind me, all right? We're going to go about another minute, same drill, minute and a half maybe. Same drill. We're going to add one little thing for her on the back, and then we'll just kind of rep it out to finish. Questions? Oh, 3. Woo!
So, on my lesson plan today is pummeling to side headlock, arm stops, up knees, and a finisher of pummeling, and the person can either headlock or body lock. So they could either see how it gets taught at 2 different levels, or I can change it very easily.
Can you, though?
I can.
I don't care. It makes no difference to me.
I can prove it too.
Oh, I don't care.
I know. I just think it's funny that we both went the same direction.
Grab me another battery. Yep.
I just wasn't sure if there's something that thematically would make sense for, so they see different things different ways, or if it would fit us.
I mean, if you stick with what you're doing, then I think we should let them know that that was planned that way, so they could get a different visual of how the same material can be.
Translated at different levels.
Yeah. Because I'm being very like.
Nondescript, like
Yeah.
respond.
Yeah.
We were just talking on this, so like as we looking in the field space,
Yep.
and I know with depending on your length and different things, but
Yeah.
what about stepping in to
Yeah.
block her and then?
Yeah.
Because sometimes just with the wide stance and the short legs,
Yep.
it's, like I feel like sometimes I'm losing the space trying
Yeah,
to
yeah.
turn in.
For sure.
They are who they are.
This drill could have been simple and fun, but you made it harder.
Time! All right. So let's add something for the person getting the back. Freddie, can I borrow you again? So if I was the one that was able to move to Freddie's back, God almighty, dude, you're so fucking tall. This is dumb. Why did I use you? So obviously, if I'm the person on the back, I have after doing the drill we just did, I have an understanding of I may not have a lot of time here, right? If Freddie's already hand fighting, I'm going to have to be busy pretty quickly. And maybe I disengage. Maybe I try to work some strikes. Maybe I try to hit a double leg from, I don't know. A lot of it depends on the energy that I get from him. So first things first, in this iteration at least, when I get to Freddie's back, I'm going to look to push into him this way. And all I'm really trying to get him to do is to think about the low line, his base, to give him something other than just fighting my hands. He still might fight my hands, but he also has to be cognizant of what's happening on the low line, okay? So when I get to his back, I'm immediately starting to giving him some energy. When I feel him put on the brakes, I'm going to look to drop him, okay? As soon as I feel his energy go from this to stopping, pushing back into me, then I'm going to look to pull, okay? I'm trying to bait him into giving me the energy that I want. Freddie's a lot bigger and stronger than I am. If I just try to muscle him to the floor, that's not going to work, okay? But if I can get him to help me, then I have a better chance of making this happen. So this particular takedown, what I'm doing is I'm trying to go to one of his hips, isolate one of the hip creases, okay? The hand that's in front is palm down. The hand that's to the side is palm up. I'm using thumbless grip here. I'm going to try to put as much weight on Freddie's leg on that same side as I can. His weight and mine. So when I break down the hip, I'm trying to make him carry as much of his weight there to where this leg is mostly light. Okay? So when I do that here and make him heavy on that leg, I'm going to step out and drop him into the space that I'm currently occupying here. Okay? This is what we would call a low amplitude takedown, right? This takedown in and of itself is not going to finish a fight. It's not like flaring the legs and dropping them on their head or big hip toss or something like that, okay? This throw just gets me to the next place or takedown, okay? So drill the same thing. This time, person on the back, you're going to look to isolate a hip, make them really heavy on whatever hip you isolate here. I'm biting in with this forearm here. This. See what's happening to his body? And then I'm going to step out and drop him into the hole that I've created. Here. That hand going to the floor is awesome. Because my next finish might be to go here. I know he's not going to hand fight with that hand because he's using it to keep him up. I can attack this one and start looking to sink my choke. Or sink my choke. Okay? So this is intentional. I'm dropping him to his side so he uses that arm to post, okay? That takes one of his hand fights out or his hands to fight out. Cool? All right, still drill it from arm stop. Go to get the headlock, bail out, back take, hip break, put them on the floor. All right?
So you're not going to hand fight them?
You can do a little bit, but don't give them a ton of resistance right now because we're still just learning this move or movement. Remember, once you get on their back, drive them a little bit. Make them take a couple of steps so then you can, once they put on the brakes, I'm being pushed, I put on the brakes, and then look to drop them in that hole. Okay? Oh, 3. Woo! He can't do it. He cannot do it.
He just did it opposite.
He cannot do it.
All he did was throw that very nice man before my world. I'll do it. That should make him really.
Can we mic check you? Just talk for a second.
Sure. All right, you getting anything?
No, we're just trying to adjust the levels a little
Okay.
bit because when you're speaking loud, it kind of
Yeah,
a little
yeah,
bit, but it's
yeah,
fine. I think we can just.
I can dial it down.
Keep doing what you're doing.
I just, because of the Zoom people.
You got it. Yeah, keep projecting.
Okay.
I'll just.
Oh, it's maybe your mic's upside down as well. That's probably a little something to do with it.
Minus down, better? Yeah. Just give me check 1, 2.
Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Good. Time. Okay, real fast, Freddie, please. All together. But if let's say I go here and I try this and it doesn't work. Okay. Now, if it doesn't work, one, it could be that I'm not doing it well or correctly. That's probably not it. But it could be, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. It could be because he changes the energy, right? He's not putting on the brakes and pushing back into me anymore, and he decides to try, because he feels me pulling him, so he tries to reverse that energy. So if he's starting to pull forward, he's a lot bigger, so I'll never make this work, okay? So then I'm probably going to need to switch to another thing. But it also could be that my timing was just a little bit off when I went to step and I didn't hit it, so then I can switch and go to the same thing on the other side. And I literally just switch the hands to the other hip. So I'm here in one, doesn't hit, I switch, I go this way to the other, and I'm just rotating my hands and flipping the position of them, okay? So if I try one and it doesn't work, depending on why I feel like it didn't work, I might go and try to hit it again on the other side, okay? If Freddie's just kind of sitting down on it a little bit, yeah, maybe I try again going the other way and I hit the same thing, okay? If all of a sudden, though, I feel him like posture breaking forward, I'm probably going to change what I'm doing. Me just trying to sling him to the floor backwards doesn't make any sense, okay? Questions? All right, so we got a couple minutes left. Start from the arm stop. Look to hit the headlock, back take. Hand fight a little bit, okay? If you can hand fight and they're not getting to that hip early and they're not putting pressure on you early, hand fight, reverse your position. Turn and square up to them, okay? If you feel like they're doing the right things and they're getting pressure and they're getting their hips there and they hit the takedown, great, hit the takedown. If you try the hip break one way, it doesn't work, and you can make it try a try on the other side, do it. All right? Questions? 3 for 3. Oh, 3. Woo!
Stop! I don't know you. That's my purse.
1 minute. Time. All right. Questions? Problems?
I was thinking it, it just slipped out my mouth. I mean it, but I didn't mean to say
We're going to work question mark kicks in the next class. Just for you. See, you got a nervous twitch now. He's having flashbacks. All right. No questions? Okay. Spirology is up next. Have shins on. Have gloves close by. Okay? All right. Thanks, everybody. If you're taking off, have a good weekend. Nice job. All right, while everybody's finishing up with gear, I had a question about this. I'll address it real fast. So spirology started as what Fit to Fight originally was. Like that was it. Fit to Fight was what is now spirology. It was a fight program. And what happened was kind of the genesis of it, as we went and taught a lot of seminars, mostly in Krav Maga training centers, the question was, how do you run fight classes? And the answer was, I don't know, let me think about it. Because we were running them and we were doing it successfully, but hadn't really thought that much about why they worked the way they worked. And so in reverse engineering, we looked at kind of what most, especially in Krav Maga training centers, what most fight programs looked like. And it was really shitty kickboxing with nut shots. Like, that's what it was. It was put on shins, put on boxing gloves, headgear, mouthpiece, a cup, and do some really sloppy kickboxing, and every now and then kick somebody in the nuts. And as you can imagine, a lot of people didn't want to do that. They would promote their fight program, they would promote their fight class that was coming up, and there'd be a lot of excitement about it. And maybe week 1 you got 20 people, week 2 you got 10, week 3 you got 4, and they all played linebacker in college, and they don't need the fucking class anyway. Okay? The people that really need your fight class are the ones that are least likely to do it. Okay? The ones that really need a class like this are the ones that are least likely to actually step onto the mats and take this. Just calling it a fight class is daunting. That's scary to people, okay? And so what we looked at was how we were doing it was instead of starting in boxing or kickboxing range, we were starting in clinch range and working our way out from there. So letting people get used to contact from very close where punches don't have nearly as much amplitude on them. Kicks don't have nearly as much amplitude on them, okay? Because if you take people that don't know anything about boxing or kickboxing and all they know is Krav Maga, which is hit this tombstone pad as hard as you can, as many times as you can in the next 30 seconds, and then you give them boxing gloves, what do you expect them to do? Okay? So if just by virtue of starting here, we negate a lot of that. You just can't do it, okay? And if you try, one, it's going to be ridiculous looking, but two, you're not really running much risk of hurting people. So get people used to contact at this range and then gradually start working the way out, okay? Ultimately, it ends up looking like kickboxing because that's what it is. It's just the way that it's presented, especially in early levels, is we're starting at clinch and working the way out, okay? Does that make sense to everybody? There still are, but there were a lot of bad fight programs out there. And if you are gearing your fight class to the guys that played linebacker in college, then that's fine. You know, I'm not here to tell you how to run your business. But if you want people in your fight class that really need it, that are less likely to do it, you can't run those programs the same way. If you're running a competitive fight team, that's going to look different. It's going to feel different, okay? Does this make sense? All right. So grab a partner. I think everybody knows this warm-up. We're going to do wood choppers, run 15 each leg, each person. As soon as you're done, go double neck ties, pummeling, elbows deep, okay? 15 and 15, 15 and 15, elbows deep, pummeling. All right, on 3. Woo! It's that's some people's problem. Time. Good. All right. Matt. So let's stay with no, absolutely not. He said, "Are you sure I can do it right?" I'm pretty much counting on you won't.
All right, good deal.
So Matt's got double neck ties, double collar ties, whatever. Again, kind of like what we talked about with the bear hug. If I'm kind of late here, it'll be too late for this, right? There's just not enough space. I'm going to need to make some space. We'll keep it pretty simple to start with. I'm going to try to find Matt's face and push it, okay? Now, I might double down on this, but if I make enough space in here for now, I'm going to look to re-pummel and go get my collar ties. I may or may not do that. I might go to collar and elbow. I might, look to strike from here, pop elbows, whatever. For right now, for the purposes of the drill, I'm going to find his face. I'm going to push. If I can make enough space to pummel inside, my other hand pummels, and then I go fill the space with the initial hand. And then Matt goes and does the same thing, hopefully. Look at that. He just can't help himself. All right, questions? Just I go, you go, back and forth. 1, 3. Woo! It's my mom's fault. Time. Good. All right. We'll look at one more move from here. We'll spend a little bit more time on this one. Face push is pretty simple. Doesn't mean it'll be easy, right? We try to make a distinction between those things. Just because something is fundamentally simple to do, like step by step by step, that doesn't mean it will be easy. Most things in fighting are not going to be easy when the other human is Matt.
Damn right.
Matt's got his double collar ties, double neck ties, point position, whatever you want to call it. So maybe I tried this, maybe I tried this, it's not working. I'm going to go far side ear or far side ear. Don't actually grab the ear, though in this case probably it'd be okay. That's just your point of reference. I'm just reaching around to the far side ear. My opposite hand is going to reach underneath the far side elbow, okay? I'm just cupping, no thumbs here. For now, we'll focus on the upper body. I'm going to pull and pull here. As I do that, I'm going to go chest to chest here, okay? This. We're going to add some footwork here in a minute, but for now, I'm just looking to create this, and I'm going to pummel inside and switch my grips, okay?